When I landed in Mongolia, I was totally amazed that I had stepped into a time machine from the 13th century. I was in Mongolia to observe and document adaptive sports and games for a school in Hawaii, bring my report back to the school district. I soon realized that I'm not in Kansas anymore, Toto. The physical, political, emotional geography of this region was like nowhere else on Earth. I knew I was here to discover, explore, imagine, and dream. The great Mongol leader Genghis Khan conquered most of Central and East Asia with his formidable cavalry in the 13th century. Relatively unchanged since then, Mongolia is one of the last remaining horse-based nomadic cultures in the world. Mongolians continue to cherish their horses, the main mode of transportation outside of Ulaanbaatar, and enjoy racing and other tests of horse riding skills. Four tribes consisting of 125 horsemen from each tribe, totaling 500 horsemen. From the north, Siberian bordering region. From the south, the Gobi Desert and the China region. To the east, Russia, and the west, neighboring Kazakhstan and assorted Central Asian nations known as the Stands. This region would have been virtually unknown had it been not for the global icon that rocked the world for hundreds of years through the creation of the formidable dynasty known as the Khan Dynasty. This portion, of course, would be none other than the illiterate-born ironworker named Temujin from the Tartar tribe, who rose to unite all Mongol tribes and set out to conquer the entire Eurasian world. This person, Genghis Khan, was truly the world's worst nightmare. He created his own athletic sports and games and standards for success that would enable his armies to generate extraordinary hand-eye coordination and personal strength during Mongol leisure, as well as military, wartime battles, and crusades throughout Asia. Horses and battle chants indicate the game's activity and strategy of execution, as well as plans of alignment. Equestrian games are played individually and on team sport levels. The battle reenactment game provides the most points awarded during this segment of the Nadam Cavalry Equestrian Games because it involves all 500 horsemen in various forms of scrimmage engagements. Sabers, lances, bows and arrows are the primary sporting goods equipment used during the festival's horseback activities. One individual from each tribe has been selected to play the goat ball game because of his expertise and knowledge of how to play this game. Unlike Mongolians, their Central Asian neighbors use a goat carcass. Mongolians use a stuffed baby lamb. Ironically, this game was created to defend against the Khan dynasty in Afghanistan. When Genghis Khan saw this game, known as Buzkashi, played by his enemies, he saw something he liked about it and implemented it with his troops during recreational activities. This event is the horse noose javelin. It's selected by the individual who's the most flexible person within the entire tribe. The mounted bow shoot requires a great deal of skill to hit a bearskin target at 60 meters away. Mongols are not only great cross-country horse racers, they're also great sprinters. Here, 4 horsemen from each one of the tribes runs the open 200-meter sprint. The award system is winners get a camel, second place a pony, third place a goat, and fourth place a baby lamb. Concludes the ceremony of the 800th Nottingham Equestrian Games with a traditional reenactment of an all-tribes flurry of sabers, officially concluding the tournament for the year. Mongol nomads converge on Nottingham with their horses, camels, yaks, and gurs from all directions in Mongolia. Children learn at a young age to play knuckle dice. This is a game that produces Mongolian math known as Mongo math, early education for Mongolian children. The most cherished product for all musicians in Mongolia is horsehair. All stringed instruments are strung with various degrees of horsehair. The fashion of the Silk Road was spurred on by the befriendment of Kublai Khan and Marco Polo, who together created and generated the most productive trade and commerce system routes between Europe and Asia. Silk, gold, silver, diamonds, spices, tea, agricultural fruit, technology, and new inventions. Fashion of the Silk Road have a wide range of fashion leaders visit Mongolia every year for creative inspiration. Could you imagine if there was internet in those days? Genghis Khan, Kublai Khan, Boyd Khan. Mongolians make their opening ceremony in the national stadium with the song and the dance and the sports, and with expression of horse formations which all Mongolians are familiar with. Horses will ride in many formations, telling a story of the glory of the dynasty of Khan. Martial arts continue to evolve in Mongolia as an art form on a daily basis and is taught in schools.
хамгийн зайдлага нөгөө дөрөнд нь явдаг гол дүнгийн өдгөн юм шүү дээ.
Mongolia's most popular nationalistic sport is wrestling. The origin of Mongol-style wrestling is claimed by historians and anthropologists to be over 5,000 years old. Nomadic wrestlers participate throughout Mongolia from different dwellings and cities that number in the thousands, as well as the 512 mandatory participants from provincial tribes all across the nation. They're all here to try and win, single elimination form, the Nadam wrestling competition. There are no weight lift categories or age limits. Wrestlers have a zazul or a coach to spur them on during each match. Once an opponent is thrown to the ground with his elbows and knees touching the ground, he has been eliminated from the tournament. Ancient titles are bestowed with honor for those who are winners within the 5th rounds, with honor of Nachin or Falcon. Those who make it to the 7th and 8th round are given the title of Zon or Elephant. And those who complete the 10th and 11th rounds are given the title of Arsalan or Lion. The title of Ofa Vargan, or Titan, is given to the wrestler who is twice absolute champion. If a wrestler has subsequent victories in the Nadam Stadium in Ulaanbaatar, an epithet to his already title of Varga will be placed with his title meaning Invincible Titan. This is that he shall be remembered by all Mongolians throughout history. The Mongolian government has recently generated new laws for the Nadam Federation wrestling titles. These names added to the list were Garudi and Heart Saga, meaning hawk. After a tournament match victory, the winner emulates the spirit of the Golden Eagle. While circling the tribe unification poles of horsehair, Mongolian wrestlers are currently excelling in modern-day wrestling and are being recruited by international factions and federations such as freestyle wrestling, sambo, sumo, and judo. Here, the winner of this match also receives the traditional Mongolian tribal hats, the Nadam hat with the gold emblem on the front, signifying victory. As friends of Marco Polo, this empire achieved enormous wealth and developed a great dynasty. Constant reminder that without unification of all tribes of 1206, Mongols probably would have reverted to the Stone Age and never would have reached and attained global dominance and control. The title of Mergen or Super Marksman is bestowed on he or she who scores the most points and is the winner of the tournament. Archery can be dated back well before the 11th century. Mongolian archery tournament targets are small cups, rings-like laid out horizontally across the painted, multicolored grass structure. This is the most challenging angle of trajectory for any archer. The Mongol compound bow may have several compositions consisting of sacred recycled camel spine, wood, animal horns, and bark. The tip of the arrow is made of animal bone, and the shaft of the arrows are made of willow twigs and feathers of powerful Vulcan vultures. The strong string bow is prepared with tendons of young bulls. Men must shoot 40 arrows at the range of approximately 75 meters, or approximately the size of a football field. Women shoot 20 arrows with a distance of about 60 meters. Mongolia is the world's most horse-based nation in the world. And horse racing is an important part of the Nada Festival. Mongolian children are excellent riders as they are considered to be born in the saddle. The race course is ridden across an open steppe where obstacles are divided up by rivers, ravines, and hills. Distances are determined by age of the horse, mostly 2 to 6-year-old amblers and stallions. The distance may range from 19 kilometers to 50 kilometers. Winners will be accompanied by a herald and complete a victory lap around the national stadium. Forehead, 10,000 racehorses, is given the honorary title to the winning horse, and medals are given to the next 5 runner-ups. All competitors are encouraged to complete the race. To facilitate communication so that orders got to the intended recipient, Genghis Khan relied on a system of fast riders known as arrow messengers to work his postal service. 5 families would maintain and operate each postal station. 64 stations were 20 miles apart, covering 1,300 miles throughout Mongolia, from the Altai Mountains in the west to the entrance of the Great Wall of China in the east. The imagery of Mongol greatness received its clearest statement around 1390 by Geoffrey Chaucer, who had traveled widely in France and Italy on diplomatic business and had a far more international perspective than many people for whom he wrote. In the Canterbury Tales, the first book ever written in English, the story of the knights related romantic tales and fanciful tales about life and the adventures of Genghis Khan. This noble king was called Genghis Khan, who in his time was so greatly renowned that there was nowhere in no region so excellent a lord in all things. He lacked nothing that belonged to a king. As of his sect to which he was born, he kept his law to which he was sworn. And hitherto he was hardy, wise and rich, and piteous and just and always liked, sooth of his word, benign and honorable, of his courage as any center stable, young, fresh, and strong, in arms desirous, as any bachelor of all his house. He was a fair person and was fortunate. He always kept so well a royal estate that there was nowhere such a man, this noble king, this Tartar, Genghis Khan.